Okay, and we are live. Good morning, everybody. Good morning from wherever you are. My name is Love Jim. Welcome to this live broadcast from the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, where today Zimbabwe will receive the second consignment, the second batch of the Sinopharm vaccine that is coming from China. We're also going to receive the Sinovac, the first batch of the Sinovac vaccine that is also coming from China. And the event today will be graced by none other than His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade E.D. Mnangagwa. He will be here shortly. Right now, what we can report is that we have quite a bit of government ministers. We have come in, we've seen Professor Mtuli Mwiwe with the Finance Minister. We've also seen Minister July Moyo. We've also seen Minister Opham Chinguri, she's also here, and other senior government officials, including the President's Deputy Chief of Secretary, which is Joy Charamba. So the reason why we're here is that Zimbabwe is likely to receive hundreds and thousands of the vaccine from China. I think we are talking about 320,000 vaccines, doses of the Sinopharm vaccines, right? So, just to give you an update of how things are looking like in as far as the fight against COVID-19 is concerned in Zimbabwe, to date we have recorded 36,504 cases. This is according to data from yesterday from the Ministry of Health and Childcare. We have so far have 36,504 cases, of which we have recorded 1,504 deaths, unfortunately, and as of yesterday we had 949 active cases. And as you might know, this is the third week or fourth. We're getting into the fourth week since we started the vaccination process. And unfortunately, we've seen quite a low uptake of the vaccine for reasons not known to us. Most of us do not know why this is happening. But I think as of yesterday, we had 37,000 plus vaccines, and this is third or fourth week that we are getting into the vaccination process. So it's been quite a very slow start to the vaccination process. A lot of people have got a lot of conspiracy theories. They think the Sinopharm vaccine is not yet up there. They're waiting to see if there will be reactions to those who took the vaccine a couple of weeks ago. I think a couple of minutes we're likely to see the president arriving. I think this is him or the vice president arriving. We'll just show you. Okay, so this is the vice president, who is also the minister of health, who is just arriving at the International Airport. And in a few minutes, we'll also see the president arriving with his entourage so that we can kickstart the program here. Like I said earlier on, we are likely to receive 300,000 plus vaccines. This is the Sinopharm and the Sinovac vaccines from China. Air Zimbabwe went to China yesterday, and we are told that it's going to be arriving, I think, in the next 20 minutes, because according to aviation authorities here, we are supposed to have the plane landing at 10:45. So we are keeping you up to date regarding that. We will be taking you through the whole process, the arrival process. We'll be taking you through the arrival process of President Emmeson Mnangagwa. Just 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, we saw also the Vice President, also the Minister of Health, Minister Chiwenga, who was also getting vaccinated. He got the jabs, he got the first dose of the Sinopharm. He was actually the first person to get vaccinated, and this was to boost the confidence, so that everybody can at least see that there is nothing to worry about when it comes to the Sinopharm vaccine. So we are also being told that in the next couple of days, President Emmeson Mnangagwa will get one of the vaccines, also get the shot of one of the vaccines. We're not sure is it going to be the Sinopharm or is it going to be the Sinovac? And they also report that Zimbabwe will receive another consignment from Russia, Sputnik V vaccine from Russia. So we're not sure when that will come out. We're sure when that will arrive. But what we know is President Mnangagwa is going to take either one of those three, and this is meant to boost that confidence in people. Just a few days ago, he posted a video on his social media platforms saying that the vaccine is going to be be sure food for everybody. It's going to be sort of something that is going to take us far if we're going to make sure that we fight this pandemic together. He's encouraging everybody to take up the vaccine. He's encouraging everybody to take up these jabs because for now they're free. I'm sure some of you saw a clip a few years ago where you were saying that there will come a time, of course this was a joke, but there will come a time where the vaccine will be a requirement for anything and everything, for you to get into the shops, etc., etc. One of the things that we've learned as two is that most people are relying on falsehoods. They are relying on false information that the vaccine, the Sinopharm vaccine, will mutate or whatever it is. You know, there are a lot of things being thrown around, and that has caused a lot of apathy. And also, political fights we've learned are also causing this because we've got one party fighting saying that no, you can't take this vaccine because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also another party saying that we can't take this vaccine because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's been that as well. Besides the false information, there's been also the political dynamics of the vaccine. You know, everyone trying to take control of everything. So we hope that as time goes on, the uptake is going to increase. We hope that as time goes on, we're going to see more people. Like I said earlier on, we've had 7,000, just a little above 7,000 people getting vaccinated in just close to 4 weeks, which is a very, very low key number. And if you were to compare Zimbabwe and other African countries, maybe let's say, for example, Rwanda, I think in just 2 weeks, Rwanda has managed to vaccinate around 200,000 people, and they're doing this effectively. But I think Zimbabwe and Kenya are also in the same bracket because if you look at it right now, Zimbabwe and Kenya are also almost at the same level. Kenya has had about 3 or 4 weeks of vaccination, and they've vaccinated less than 100,000 people. For a large country like Kenya, that is a very, very low key number. So we're hoping that as time goes on, as days goes by, we're going to see a lot of uptake. We're going to see a lot of people taking up the vaccine. We're going to see a lot of you guys queuing at various centers taking up that vaccine. I got vaccinated, and I can for sure tell you that I haven't had any side effects as of now. Of course, I don't know if I will, but I'm praying that I will not have any side effects come my second jab. So we're hoping that in a few minutes' time we'll get the president coming through, and we'll give you that live broadcast. But in the meantime, some of the ministers who are here will just show you a bit of what's going on around this place. Okay, I'm being directed to where my colleagues are. So just a few meters away from where I am, I don't know if you all can see it, where the flags there. That's where the ministers are. Like I said, we've got Minister Chulimure, we've got Minister Opam Chinguru, we have seen Minister Julai Moyo and other senior government officials who are here present as we await for the arrival of President Emmeson Mnangagwa. So we are hoping that when these vaccines come, like I said earlier on, we are going to see a lot of uptake. We are going to see a lot of people taking this. I know from the first batch, it was the frontline workers. You're talking about your nurses, your doctors, your police, and even us, the media. But the government is relaxing now. Like as we go into the second phase, they're saying that even teachers and students are going to be vaccinated, those who are willing. And for the record, this vaccine is not being forced on anyone because that would be an infringement of your right to health. It's not being forced on you, but it's being encouraged because the government and everybody is saying that let us all be our brother's keepers. So that's the message from here. We are waiting for the arrival of the president. The media is in full force. The government officials and other health officials as well. They are here waiting. Even members from the Chinese embassy, they are also here as we await for the arrival of President Emmeson. Come on. Seleman, I saw him sometime 2 weeks ago. Tawand. I'm okay, man. It's been long, man. I hope you got your jabs. So right now we are just moments away from seeing the arrival of His Excellence President Emmeson Mnangagwa, who's likely to arrive, I think, in the next 5 minutes or so, and then thereon we will have the arrival of Air Zimbabwe, which is coming from Beijing, um, carrying two different vaccines. That is the Sinopharm vaccine, another consignment of the Sinopharm vaccine, and then another consignment, a new consignment of the Sinovac vaccine, all manufactured in China. Um, we are also seeing Vice President and also Health Minister Constantino Chiwenga, together with the Chinese ambassador to Zimbabwe, Professor Mtuli Ngube, Professor Emon Murira, Minister Opam Chinguri, as well as other senior government officials that include officials from the OPC and from the Ministry of Health, who are also here waiting and expecting our guests. Costa, can I show things? Okay, so now the president is arriving. President Emmeson Mnangagwa is arriving. Don't cross the white line. So moments ago, we just saw the arrival of President Emmeson Mnangagwa at the Robert Gabriel International Airport, where he's going to be receiving Sinopharm and Sinovac vaccines. After arriving, he just had a brief chat with his deputy, who's also the Minister of Health, who is none other than Constantine Chiwenga, and he also had a brief chat as well with the Chinese ambassador to Zimbabwe. And now they've just gone into a brief where they will just talk, exchange notes, etc., etc. And now we are waiting for the arrival of Air Zimbabwe, the plane that is coming from Beijing, that is supposed or expected to land any minute from now. Actually, the plane is here. The plane has just arrived. So I don't know if you can see it from a distance, but the Air Zimbabwe carrying our vaccines is here. Is just arrived. It's just landed. We will try to get you that footage. Let's see if we can get it. It's quite a distance from where we are. But if you can see the white plane there, that's the Zimbabwe bag there, carrying the Zimbabwean bag. That's the Air Zimbabwe plane that is just arriving with the Sinovac and Sinopharm vaccines. Let's just get closer. White line. Okay, we're just being reminded of where to be, where to stand. You know, the security can be hectic, but it is part of the job. So that is the Zimbabwe plane, the white jet that is just coming through behind me here. That is the plane carrying our vaccines. It is coming straight out of Beijing. We hope that most of you will get to be part of that vaccination process. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, once again, I'm being reminded of where to be, where to stand. I just crossed the line there. There is the Air Zimbabwe plan. Uh, Once again, to just remind you, this is Air Zimbabwe Chimani that made headlines a couple of weeks ago after bringing in the first batch of the vaccines from China. Once again, it is done it again. They brought back two other vaccines, that is the Sinopharm and the Sinovac vaccine from China. Chimani, Boeing 767-200. ERA. It made a couple of headlines, and if you are a Twitter follower, it was trending just a few weeks ago. So it has done it again. Takazo Makoa, you say, first page, we are encouraging you to get vaccinated. We're encouraging you to get your vaccines as and when you can. If you qualify, please make sure that you go to your local hospital clinics and get that vaccine. It's a beautiful picture. Fatito Faito, yes, I think that's the conversation that has been going on. You're supposed to get the vaccine of your choice. It's not supposed to be imposed on you. You're supposed to get what you think is best for you. But the bottom line is you have to go and get that vaccine first. The best thing that you can do for yourself, for your relatives, for your friends is to go get vaccinated as we try to be our brother's keeper, as we try to fight the COVID 19 together as a country. Sorry, Chief. You're in my shot. But it needs a bit of painting. I mean, not 340. That's 144. Oh, that's the breakdown. Okay, cool. So we're just getting confirmation that um, we are receiving 344,000 doses of both the Sinopharm and the Sinovac vaccine. The breakdown is that we are getting 144,000 Sinovac shots and 200,000 Sinopharm shots. So we are adding 200,000 Sinopharm shots that came earlier on and the ones that are just arriving now. So that makes it 400,000 Sinopharm vaccines that we've received from China and 144,000 Sinovac vaccines that we've also received from China. Part of this, there is what Zimbabwe bought, and there's also part of vaccines which were donated by China. This is why you see the Chinese flag and the Zimbabwean flag together here. This is why you see Chinese officials here at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport. Just to give you once again the breakdown of those vaccines, we are receiving 344,000 vaccines or doses just now from the plane that is in your shot. The plane that you're seeing right now is carrying 344,000 doses of both the Sinovac and the Sinopharm vaccines. That is 144,000 Sinovac shots and 200,000 Sinopharm shots. So that makes it 344 there. To add to the already 200,000 that we received earlier on, and in total, that means Zimbabwe, as of now, has received 544,000 vaccines, all from China. Tafazwa Makoa, the reason why we still have a lot of residue from the first batch is because there's been a low uptake of the vaccine. Like I said, as of yesterday, only 37,000 plus people had been vaccinated. And Zimbabwe, as you might know, is targeting around 10 million people by the end of the year. That is 60% of the population to achieve what is called a herd immunity. So once that is achieved, then we can safely say we are in the right direction in as far as fighting the COVID-19 is concerned. But judging by the numbers that are currently there, it becomes extremely difficult for us to achieve that number. But we hope that as time goes on, more people are going to be confident of the vaccines that are coming. We know a lot of people are expecting the AstraZeneca, some of them are expecting the Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson and Johnson, but those have not come to Zimbabwe as of now. We only have the Sinopharm, and now we have the Sinovac to add to what we already have. So we're hoping that we can make do with what we have and try to fight this scourge together. Shucks, apa nama? Você passa na mãe? Picture ini guys ini. Saya ini soal apa? Cacaran. But I need it still. Yes, Tafadzo Makoa, we definitely agree with you. I think one thing that has been lacking is the education or information. There's been an information gap in as far as the vaccines are concerned. I think this is what the government should be aiming to do. They should be trying to educate a lot of people about the vaccines that we have right now. But yes, you're right. We haven't seen much of that. We haven't seen much on the educational side. There's been an information gap, like I said. Okay, we're trying to fight for space here. Okay, so this is, let's see if we can try to get our vantage point back. Okay. Okay. I don't think we need much of this. I think we need to spread out. So we lost our vantage point. Can I just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Where's the podium? Okay, so yeah, my apologies there. We just got distracted. We were told to move. So I was agreeing with you, Tafaz, as well, that yes, there is need to educate more people on the vaccine, on why it's important for everybody to get vaccinated. Because you're not just doing this for your own. You're not doing this for your families. You're also doing for the community, for the greater good of the community. So if you can, go get vaccinated and try to find out as much information as possible. And as 263, what you envisage is to see that information gap being closed. So we will try to engage with government ministers, with doctors, health practitioners to just try to bring them to the show and them explaining to us what these vaccines are for, how maybe they can avert the fears that we have. I know a lot of people are skeptical, like I said earlier on at the start, that there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that are being thrown around, and we need to um, widen that gap. We need to demystify those myths. But it's also up to us, the media. It's also up to the government to do that, and we are trying to make sure that we demystify that through engagements with various stakeholders involved. Okay, Tina Zmiri, the Chinese flag is here because these vaccines are from China. We are getting the vaccines from China. That is why you see a lot of Chinese member staff. That is why you see the Chinese um, flag here. The the Zimbabwe plane has just arrived from Beijing. That is where we're getting the Sinopharm and the Sinovac vaccines. Both of them are manufactured in China. That is why you see the Chinese flag here. We've got the Chinese ambassador here, his deputy, and some officials from the embassy. You see that guy? That guy has got a good picture. The Chinese guy. From where he's standing, huh? He's got a vantage point. I wish I was taking my pictures. Hero. Babe, long time. I'm alright. Marwa. Takaneta. Yo, kataka say that 2020 bipap. And also to go back to to that comment by Tawanda, and he asked why there is the Chinese flag. Of course, from a diplomatic point of view, wherever the Chinese ambassador is, there has to be the Chinese flag, because he's representing President Xi, so he's representing His Excellency. So yeah, every time that he's doing something, there has to be that Chinese flag, because he's representing his country, he's representing his appointing of authority. So that is also one of the major reasons why we see Chinese flags here. And once again, maybe to give you the breakdown of those numbers, we are receiving 344,000 doses of two vaccines. Of the 344,000, 200 are from Sinopharm. So we are adding 200,000 to the ones that we received earlier on in February, to the ones that we're receiving now. So that makes it 400,000 Sinopharm vaccines that are now here in Zimbabwe. And we've got 144,000 of the Sinovac vaccine. This is something new. This is something that is less talked about, because Sinopharm seems to be making all the headlines. So we are yet to hear more about what the Sinovac is all about. But the efficacy of these vaccines stands at 76 plus, 76 percent or more. So they are relatively okay if you want to be optimistic. We've had some going as far as 91%, 94%. We have some in the 80s. So this is one of those which is relatively low. But in the past few days, Sinopharm has been sort of gaining momentum. It has been being talked about as one of the best around the globe, because some of these vaccines are having side effects, huge side effects on people. We can talk about the AstraZeneca. Some European countries have actually stopped taking those vaccines, citing that it's causing blood clots and a whole lot of challenges. So they are now opting for the Sinopharm vaccine. So it's a good thing that we now have these in abundance. But what is lacking now is the uptake by all of us. Like I said earlier on, only 37,000 people in 3 weeks, in 3 to 4 weeks, they've taken these vaccines, which is a very, very low number if we are to achieve the 10 million mark that we are targeting by the end of the year. 37,000 in 3 weeks. That's a very, very low number. How does Zimbabwe compare to other countries? We talk, for example, in Rwanda. Rwanda, in about 2 weeks, they've managed to vaccinate close to 200,000 people. Which is very good, which is a very good number. Kenya as well, I think they are struggling as much as we are, and this is because of some of these things, some of these conspiracy theories that I was talking about. So I think that information gap that needs to be closed, and it's upon the government officials, it's upon the health officials to close that gap. It's upon us, the media, to also demystify these and write correctly about the efficacy and probably the side effects or lack of from these vaccines. If you're joining us, we are broadcasting live from the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, where Zimbabwe is receiving the second batch of the Sinopharm vaccine and the first batch of the Sinovac vaccine. His Excellency, the President of the Republic, President Emmeson Mnangagwa, is here. He's accompanied by his deputy, who is also the Minister of Health, Constantino Chiwenga, together with several health ministers, several ministers, government ministers. My apologies. Several government ministers were here. Like I said earlier on, we've got Minister July Moyo, we've got Minister Mchuli Mulve, we've got Minister Professor Murira, we have got a lot of government officials here. We're just witnessing this momentous occasion. Just in your picture there, that is the plane that brought the vaccines, and those boxes, those are our vaccines. 344,000 doses being received today. And shortly we will hear a speech from both the president, Emmeson Mnangagwa, and the Chinese ambassador to Zimbabwe. And just now they're coming. Okay, so just in your picture there is President Emmeson Mnangagwa together with government officials and officials from the Chinese embassy, just receiving um, the 344,000 um, vaccines from China that landed moments ago from China. Zimbabwe kickstarted its vaccination program last month, but again, the issue of low uptake of vaccines has been troubling us. In a picture there, President Emmeson Mnangagwa flanked by his deputy and the Chinese ambassador to Zimbabwe, just going through around the boxes. The consignment that just landed here at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport. I'm sure you can pick out President Emmeson Mnangagwa in his scarf that has become part of his identification. You can never miss him. you always support him. Ah, come on. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now that's a shot.
Unlucky me.
Yeah, that's a shot. That's a good observation. I bet you most people didn't get that shot. Okay, so we are now hearing from the president. Mr. July ngaba. Mr. Moy, Mr. Moy, may you kindly minister.
Dr. Mnangagwa, Honorable Vice President, General C.D.G. Chiwenga, who is also Minister of Health and Child Care, Honorable Ministers led by the Chairman of the Task Force and Minister of Defense, Honorable Opamchi Funikashi, Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Professor Tuli, Honorable Minister of Higher Tertiary Education, who is also the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor Mwira, Honorable Deputy Ministers of Health, of Foreign Affairs, of Transport and Communications, the Chairman of the Health Services Board, members of the board, Permanent Secretary led by the Deputy Chief Secretary, Dr. Rushwaya, Secretary for Health, Dr. Chimedza, and other senior government officials. Your Excellency, let me call upon His Excellency, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Gu, to make his presentation at this very important gathering. And before he speaks, please, let's have social distancing so that we demonstrate that which has come is going to help us. So social distancing. Your Excellency, the Ambassador.
Thank you. Your Excellency President Mnangagwa, Your Honorable Vice President Chiwenga, Honorable Ministers, dear friends, only 1 month ago, we were here welcoming the first consignment of China donated vaccines. And here we are today for an even larger delivery of Chinese vaccines, both donation and export. We have measured that Zimbabwe was among the early to receive vaccine donations from China and one of few to which China has donated twice so far. This is the most powerful interpretation of the great friendship and militant solidarity between our two countries and our two peoples. Because we are comrades, we are brothers, we are friends, we are partners. We both believe in national independence and liberty. We both believe in sovereignty, equity, and fairness. We both believe in solidarity and mutual support. We see the world as a community where our lives are linked with each other. COVID-19 is a century pandemic. In the face of such a unprecedented common challenge, act with determination and speed is more important than anything else. This is the most undeniable human rights practice which demonstrates our sense of responsibility. China is a committed front runner in promoting international vaccine cooperation. More than 60 countries have authorized the use of Chinese vaccines. The safety and effectiveness of Chinese vaccines are recognized across the world. China is prepared to discuss with other countries the feasibility and protocols for mutual recognition of vaccination. China is a steadfast advocate for equitable vaccine distribution. We have shown progress under which China has undertaken to provide an initial 10 million doses for emergency use in developing countries. And I believe some of Chinese donations under COVAX will benefit Zimbabwean people. So far, we have donated or are donating COVID-19 vaccines to 69 countries in urgent need and is exporting vaccines to 43 countries. Responding to a UN appeal, we have donated the vaccines to peacekeepers from various countries. We are also ready to work with International Olympic Committee to provide vaccines to Olympians. It is our hope that the Chinese vaccine will inject more hope and confidence to the global fight against the COVID-19. A number of vaccines are now available around the world. It is up to each country to decide which one to choose. Whatever it is, the Chinese vaccine or not, it is a good vaccine, so long as it is safe and effective. China opposes vaccine nationalism. We reject any vaccine demand or any attempt to politicize vaccine cooperation. All capable countries should do what they can to provide vaccine support to developing countries so that the people in the world will be able to benefit from the vaccine. I would like to commend the great leadership of His Excellency President Mnangagwa and the efficiency of your government in containing the second wave of the pandemic and rolling out the national vaccination program. With this batch of vaccine, more Zimbabwean people will be protected. Zimbabwe will be one step closer to a normal life and stronger economy. This is what we want in return. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Excellency, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, I want to thank you very much. Honorable Vice President, Ministers, senior government officials, members of the media, and all Zimbabweans who are witnessing this, allow me, Honorable Vice President, to humbly request the President of the Republic, Commander-in-Chief of Defense Forces, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, to make his acceptance speech on behalf of all of us. Your Excellency, sir.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Mao Xiaoqun, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Republic of Zimbabwe, and your esteemed staff. The Honorable Vice President and the Minister of Health and Child Care, General Retired Dr. Constantine Dominic Rivera Lucas, Honorable Ministers who are here, all senior government officials who are present, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this momentous event which marks yet another milestone in the robust development and the consolidation of our bilateral relations and cooperation in relation to the ongoing fight against COVID-19 pandemic. As you are aware, today we are gathered to receive the second batch of 200,000 vaccine doses donated to Zimbabwe by the People's Republic of China, and another consignment of 200,000 vaccine doses procured by Zimbabwe from Sinovacs, as well as 1,200,000 medical consumables procured from Sinopharm. On behalf of the government and the people of Zimbabwe, and indeed on my own behalf, allow me to yet again express my profound gratitude to His Excellency President Xi Jinping and the fraternal people of China for this generous gesture of support. Their continued assistance and solidarity has indeed lightened our burden in an otherwise difficult period, whilst also positively impacting the health, well-being, protection, and recovery of our people. Your Excellency, we are making steady progress in the fight against the pandemic and in the ongoing national COVID-19 vaccination rollout program. We remain thankful to China for the support of this program. This includes the timely provision of epidemiological expertise and personal protective equipment, among other aspects, which China has supported us. My administration is confident that this vaccination intervention will greatly contribute to our country's realization of a herd immunity. The national COVID-19 vaccination program will further guarantee a Zimbabwe that continues on its course to achieve our dedicated Vision 2030. We are determined to emerge out of this pandemic with greater capability to play a more effective role towards peace, harmony, and prosperity within the Community of Nations. The People's Republic of China's unparalleled readiness to avail access to the vaccines for commercial procurement testifies to our shared and mutual desire to continue enhancing cooperation, particularly in these times of distress and competition for resources. The fact that we are the only country in Africa which has to date received the second batch of the vaccine doses from China attests to the strong, comprehensive, and strategic nature of our partnership with China. We look forward to broadening and deepening our relations in the post-COVID-19 era. It is within this spirit of lasting and tested friendship that I, on behalf of the government, and indeed the people of Zimbabwe, warmly receive this consignment of much needed COVID-19 vaccines. I would also want to mention that the donation by the People's Republic of China to the Republic of Namibia consignment, we have gladly uplifted it and will convey it to Namibia free of charge. In conclusion, I once again request that you convey our deep gratitude for your great country's support and solidarity with the people of Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Your Excellency, allow me to ask your first frontline officer, who is Vice President and Minister of Health and Child Care, to pass a vote of thanks to you and to His Excellency, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China. Your Honorable Vice President.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Dr. Emmeson Mnangagwa, His Excellency, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Ambassador Go, and your team from the embassy. Our chair of the Task Force, COVID-19 Task Force, Honorable Minister of Defense, who also is the chairman of the ruling party, Comrade Opa Bange Uchengure Kashiri, and all the ministers who have already been acknowledged. Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs, and who is also Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Professor Amon Burmira, our Minister of Finance, and Economic Development, Honorable Ngube, and all the government officials, permanent secretaries led by the deputy chief secretaries, George Charamba and Dr. Ushwai. Your Excellency, allow me to thank you personally for having been at the forefront of fighting this pandemic. From the time the World Health Organization declared this pandemic, you were at the forefront to save the people of Zimbabwe. Everything possible was done under your leadership and your direction. We could have lost a lot of our people had those measures not been taken. But also at the same time, allow me to thank the People's Republic of China through the ambassador, His Excellency Gao, for having stood with us in this time of need. They were with us during our armed struggle. You personally trained in the People's Republic of China as our the first cadres of this country trained there, and we were with them right up to 1980 when we got our independence. We have walked this journey together through thick and thin, and this time when the pandemic struck the entire globe, China was again on our door to help us. The two consignments, which are now, Your Excellency, totaling the 400,000 doses, have made a great change in terms of health to our people. I want to assure you, Your Excellency, that with this donation and the procurement which you have authorized, and the Minister of Finance did not waste time to put everything in place. And we now have two vaccines, the Sinopharm, which is the donated vaccine from the People's Republic of China, and the Sinovacs, of which we will be procuring 2 million doses. The first consignment has arrived together, which has been now handed over to you, together with the consignment of the donations. And so with this, Your Excellency, we are going to intensify our rollout plan for the vaccination. We are now going to be including going into the second phase with vigor. For example, the teachers, so that the education system continues at full throttle in this country. So the teachers, Your Excellency, are now coming, next to be vaccinated, so that there are no problems in our education system. We also look at the judiciary. We also look at the law and order. Those people who are helping, working together with the frontline workers in the Ministry of Health, at our ports of entry, and so forth. We will not forget that Zimbabwe is a God-fearing nation, and therefore we are also putting the heads of all the denomination, their pastors and their priests, their nuns, will also be coming together with our people, the majority of our people who have got ailments. They will come into this, and we want to thank you, Your Excellency, for your leadership, and we shall continue to change. For the People's Republic of China, we are together. This comprehensive strategic partnership has been fully demonstrated, and we want to thank you for this. And I think now our people from uh, the ministry are going to be more rejuvenated to do their work. I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for everything that you have done to us. And we will make sure that no vaccine will go to waste. Every vaccine will be given to every deserving Zimbabwean. And I will assure you that the 60% which you have given us for the herd immunity will be achieved. I thank you.
Your Excellency, we have come to the end of this program, and I know too many persons expected, but I know what to say. One more thing later.
Okay, so there you have it. There you have it. This now concludes the receiving of the 344,000 vaccines from China. Maybe just the key pointers from both the president and the Chinese ambassador from their speeches. The president, Emmeson Mnangagwa, reiterated that this donation is now cementing relations between Zimbabwe and China, and he paid homage to President Xi Jinping of China. And he also said that Zimbabwe is making steady progress in as far as fighting COVID-19 is concerned, and he called this donation a generous gesture of support in Zimbabwe's fight against COVID-19. He also mentioned that Zimbabwe is actually the first country to receive the second batch of the Sinopharm in Africa, Sinopharm vaccine in Africa, which means that Zimbabwe and Chinese relations are at an all-time high. Also, taking off from Ambassador Wu, he also reiterated the great friendship that is shared between Zimbabwe and China, and say that China will continue to support Zimbabwe in every aspect to make sure that we come out of this COVID-19 pandemic with less and less deaths. He also said that Zimbabwe, just like the rest of African countries, is one of the 69 countries that have received the Sinopharm vaccine. 43 countries are the ones that are getting these vaccines. Okay, just now we're seeing the president and his dignitaries leaving. We'll come back to this later. We're trying to get an interview with the Chinese ambassador. Let's see what he has to say.
Right. Remember, I told you.
Yes, we are promoting the vaccine cooperation, just like have just witnessed the consignment of vaccine donation from China as part of the procurement of Chinese vaccine by the Zimbabwean government. And we would like to work with international society to provide more support for all the people needing the vaccine. So China is ready to provide vaccines to Olympians. And we are now working with the International Olympic Committee. And China has joined the COVAX. Under the COVAX, we promised to provide, initially provide 10 million doses of Chinese vaccine. And I'm pretty sure part of Chinese donation under COVAX will come to Zimbabwe and to protect the Zimbabwean people. Of course, we are ready to talk to any country about the feasibility, the protocols of mutual recognition of vaccination. Thank you.
The fact that Zimbabwe is one of the first country to get a second donation, why is that? Can you speak about that?
That's because China and Zimbabwe enjoy the time-honored friendship, and Zimbabwe needs the vaccine support. And China and Zimbabwe always support each other bilaterally or in the international stage. So, real friends should give help to each other because we are living in a community where our lives are linked with each other. Thank you. It's the same as the match. It's 200,000 doses of Sinovacs.
What I'm asking is the total doses that you have delivered to Zimbabwe.
So the total is 400,000 doses of Sinopharm vaccine so far.
And how many is Zimbabwe?
Sorry?
I'm not very sure. So they come to the military, they also the military finance. But I would like to say the cooperation of procurement between our two countries is moving on very,
Temkum, Rubo. Okay, so we're just trying to listen to what the Chinese ambassador to Zimbabwe was just saying there. Maybe some of you might not have heard. So he was just emphasizing, like I said earlier on, the cooperation between Zimbabwe and China, how Zimbabwe got to receive, to be the first one to receive the second batch of the Sinopharm vaccine, because he mentioned that we share the common goal, we share bilateral ties. That those in his words, he emphasized on the need for more cooperation between Zimbabwe and China. And back to his speech earlier on, he was also talking about Zimbabwe being one of the 69 countries across the globe, developing countries that are receiving big donations from China. And he also mentioned that Zimbabwe purchased the Sinovac vaccine, which amounts to 144,000. So, just to break it down for you once again, the 400,000 vaccines that have been donated by Sinopharm are coming as a good gesture between, from the Chinese government. But the 144,000 are bought by the Zimbabwean government. The 144,000 doses were procured by the government of Zimbabwe. And the other 200,000 which came first, and then the other 200 which came now, are part of the donations that China is pushing towards making sure that every country has access to vaccines. Also, one of the pointers that came out from these deliberations that the Chinese ambassador to Zimbabwe, he said that China is ready to cooperate with anyone and everyone to ensure that COVID-19 cases continue to decrease. He said that they are ready to donate or even to sell to every country that is willing to join their vaccines. He also mentioned that the Chinese government has been talking to the International Olympic Committee to also talk to ensure that all the athletes that are going to be taking part in the Olympics in 2021 earlier on, later on in the year, have access to the Sinopharm and the Sinovac vaccine. So these are some of the deliberations that came out from these donations. And once again, the president emphasized the need for us to continue adhering to every protocol that we need to ensure that we get back our lives to normal. And also some deliberations from the vice president, who's also the minister of health. He said that Zimbabwe is on course to achieving the 60% herd immunity that we have set as a target by the end of the year. He said that with more cooperation from China and other countries, Zimbabwe is likely to meet that target. Like I said earlier on, Zimbabwe is targeting 60%, which is 10 million people, to ensure that we have this herd immunity. And after that, maybe, just maybe, we can continue. We can now start seeing fewer cases, or maybe even no cases at all. As of today, Zimbabwe has reported around 37,000 cases, of which 1,500 people have died out of those cases, and we have got 900 plus active cases. And back to the vaccinated people, we have got around 37,000 people who have been vaccinated today, which is quite a low number. And the president and Ambassador Wu, and as well as Vice President Struenga, emphasized that people need to get vaccinated. We need to fight this thing together. We need to fight COVID-19 together. So those are some of the things that we're witnessing today. And behind me, you can see the plan that brought our vaccines. Some of the vaccines are now on their way. Maybe, but also as a pointer, one of the things that came out was that This plane, the Air Zimbabwe plane, also brought Namibia's vaccines. They brought Namibia's vaccines, and the president, Emmeson Mnangagwa, pledged that they're going to transport these vaccines meant for Namibia for free. I think this is part of the brotherhood that we share with Namibia. So we're going to see the Air Zimbabwe plane leaving here for Namibia to deliver those donations as well that were donated by China to the Namibian government. So that's a wrap from all of us at Joseph Richard. The program is Made the Press. We're trying to come to the ground and see what is exactly going on, and we tried our best to just give you everything as it was happening. My name is Love John Chungiza. Join me in other programs to come.